Because one of the things that I noticed when I used the Vision Pro over and over is that my eyes have to constantly focus and then tap with my fingers to accept that I'm moving forward in the user interface. For a workout app, there's just too much information all over the user interface. And like there's so many areas to tap by accident. And you don't have to tell the user there's a button there. You don't have to make a shiny, glittery thing. Welcome back. I thought I'd take this time to share some of my initial reflections. It's almost been a week since I've had the Apple Vision Pro and I've been wearing it every day, trying out different interactions. One thing that I'm constantly reminded when I use the device is that I do actually step into a spatial reality, and it gives me reflections about user interaction and how I deal with things in the real world. So a common example is like, for example, a gate. A gate is there as a structure and it prevents you from going forth so that you don't go into that structure. And there's no like visual elements like design that say like, hi, I am a gate, I'm stopping you, exclamation point, red, sliders or things that are really calling your attention. You just know by interacting with the world, having grown up as a child, that that's a gate. And same with mailboxes. Mailboxes are here and you see the shape of a mailbox and you instinctively know that's where I go get my mail. And same with a door. When you go visit your friend's house, you just go right up, you know where the handle is instinctively, you go grab it and you open it. And in user interface design, what's happening now is that people have been taking their iPads and they're using them and they're applying all of the principles and designs for using a square spatial tablet and then putting into the spatial space and putting so much information in our face that to me it's actually very overwhelming. And to me that design doesn't feel as intuitive. And we're at the very, very early stages of trying to discover what that looks like for these types of products. And it's really cool to actually have something physically to play with and to actually test out when you make a design or update your app and push things through. So I guess my challenge to you and to me is to try to use things in the real world and see what those behaviors are. What things that are just inherently natural to grabbing a phone or grabbing a handle on a door or looking at a gate and just opening it, that you instinctively know when you see it, and try to bring that into your user interface designs so that they may seem a little bit more intuitive or natural feeling. And you don't have to tell the user there's a button there. You don't have to make a shiny, glittery thing to capture the person's attention. Because one of the things that I noticed when I used the Vision Pro over and over is that my eyes have to constantly focus and then tap with my fingers to accept that I'm moving forward in the user interface. At the beginning, it feels magical, but the more I use it, the more annoyed I get with when there's user interfaces that just have too much stuff going on. And so my eyes trying to go everywhere, and then I'm trying to do this translation in my head of okay, on a computer, I normally drag the cursor over here and I highlight various things. And to me, that doesn't really feel that natural. It actually kind of feels like we're bridging the gap between these two environments that are very, very different in nature and in real life, and trying to bring them together. And I get that. I think the whole point of this whole headset is to put it out there in the world, have something, give you some basis to look at it, but just talking with you about my reflections and sharing that with, kind of what I know. Hi, I used to work at Apple for 12 years as an engineer, and now I'm on my own learning AI and building apps. This is a pretty complicated journey, and I'd appreciate if you just like and subscribe and share this with a friend who you think might be interested. Now let's get back to the show. Groundbreaking, I think it's really important to step back a little bit and think things through a little bit differently in terms of how you want to interact with something. So one common use case I'm finding is for a workout app, there's just too much information all over the user interface. And there's so many areas to tap by accident that you can actually tap the wrong thing and set off a timer for resting or complete an exercise when you really don't need to. And it's just well, that's not really what I want. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to take a first attempt at making my first Vision Pro app. And the first app I'm going to make is just going to be extremely simple. I have these weights from COVID. The only ones that were available were in kilograms. And in American, we measure pounds. And in my app for tracking my workouts, it's all measured in pounds. And I thought, well, if I wear my headset or I have something that's light enough to show me some spatial awareness, why don't I just kind of have like a chart on the wall that just shows me a conversion? It's like when I click 5 kilograms, that equals, X pounds. And when I click 15, or hey, I need to up my weight from 33 to 50 or something. And like, what does that look like? And I frequently use that a lot. So I thought that'd be a fun use case. Like, can I build an app, publish it, or even test it on my device and have it available in the space, and kind of keep iterating and giving you feedback as far as what I've learned? Because one, not a lot of people have these headsets, and two, the apps that are currently published, all of the people publish them. I think probably 80% of the people or more or developers who published did not have access to their Apple Vision Pro. So they published blind and they're kind of, since they've gotten their devices, they've been making updates to their app, but it takes some time to iterate on the user interface. So yeah, I have a device and I'm going to walk you through here. It's a pretty noisy part of here, and I don't know if you'd be able to hear me, but just thought I'd share that little snippet with you as I'm walking back to my house. All right, I'll catch you all a little bit later.